Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brock Page, and I do random sports picks for fun. First game I have for you, it is going to be Milwaukee at Toronto. The betting opened up with Toronto as the 6.5 point favorites, and the total at 192.5. Since then, Toronto is now -6 against the spread, with the total moving downward to an even 192. Currently, Toronto is favored, laying 250 on the money line, and at the moment, 66% of the bettors think Milwaukee will get the job done. Speaking of the Bucks, they've been a great covering team in the series, successfully covering 3 out of 4 games. They're facing a Toronto squad who has covered just 12 of 28 versus teams around 500. When it comes to scoring, both teams are collectively averaging just 182 total combined points in this series, respectively. In addition to that, 3 out of the series' 4 games have gone under the total posted points. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick for this game, as I think the Milwaukee Bucks +6 will get the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total, I once again think this one stays under 192. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Toronto wins this one at home in a close one. I'm also adjusting the line and taking Milwaukee +14 as the first pick of my 8-point sweetheart teaser. Next game, Washington at the Atlanta Hawks. The betting opened up with Atlanta as the 3-point favorites, and the total at 211.5. Since then, the Hawks are now just -2.5 against the spread, with the total remaining at 211.5. Currently, Atlanta is the favorite, laying 140 on the money line, and at the moment, 55% of the bettors think Washington will get the job done. Speaking of the Wizards, they've done a fine job against the number in the series, covering 2 out of 3 games. They're also an impressive 18-8 versus teams around 500. They're facing an Atlanta squad who's covered just 3 of 7 heads up and just 15 of 37 as the official home favorite. When it comes to scoring, 2 out of the series' 3 games have gone over the total posted points. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick, as I think the Washington Wizards +2.5 get the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total, I think this one goes over the line. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think the Wizards win it outright in a proverbial upset. I'm also adjusting the line and taking Washington +10.5 as the second pick of my 8-point teaser. That's going to bring us into our next and final game for the show. I'm talking about Golden State -6.5 at Portland, with the total at an even 219. Currently, Golden State is laying a lot on the money line, I think about 280, and at the moment, 59% of the bettors think the Warriors will get the job done. Speaking of Golden State, they're dominating the series in the win column and have also covered 2 out of the series' 3 games. This is certainly not a shocking trend, as Golden State's 4-3 against the spread when facing Portland. Now, speaking of the Blazers, they have not only struggled against Golden State, but other solid teams as well, covering just 16 of 34 games versus teams over 500. When it comes to scoring, both teams are collectively averaging just 217 total combined points in the series per game. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick, as I think Golden State -6.5 gets the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total, I think this one stays under 219. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Golden State wins it outright. I'm also adjusting the line and taking Portland +14.5 as the third and final pick of my 3-teamer. Just a reminder, my 8-point sweetheart super teasers pay 5 to 6 and get graded as a loss should any game result in a push. You can find this exotic wager in several online sports books and in the state of Delaware. Well, folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert. I'm not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page predictions and sports picks, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.